All right, good morning, and welcome to Waking Up Right with Ivory. I'm your host, Ivory Hunter, and today I'm excited because I got two of my awesome friends. We're going to chop it up this morning. My brother, Dannon Green, and my boy, Mr. Daniel Dugar. How you brothers doing this morning, man?
Man, we're doing wonderful. I'm doing great. Good to see you, Ivory. You look good, man. God damn.
You too, Dannon. You too. I haven't seen you in a while, man. You looking slim.
Dannon,
Slim. You got the
Dannon
nice
look,
little gray hair
Dannon,
popping up. You
Dannon.
look wonderful.
This is the best I've seen Dannon look. Dannon been looking like he was 74. He looking like he like 45 with a beard.
Yeah, you know, hey, man, it's called water and crack.
yo, man, look, check it out, man. So, yesterday, you guys know that you guys hosted shows before COVID at the movies with Dannon and Dugar. So since COVID happened, that has stopped. But right now we're gonna do a little special, a little at the movies with Dannon and Dugar right now.
Guess
Even
what,
though
Ivory?
what?
Me and DG talked, and we're rebooting.
You are?
We're just going independent with it. We're gonna reboot.
You heard it here first. That's awesome news, man. You should. Why wait for somebody?
You heard it here first, baby. Exclusive.
Yeah.
Exclusive.
All right, so we're gonna talk about Coming to America too, because I know my boy Dugar has an opinion on it. I had to watch it for myself after I heard your opinion, man. So I was like, let me go to check this thing out, man. So first of all, and Dannon, you didn't get a chance to see it, so you're gonna try.
But what I'll do is because I didn't see it, so I'm not gonna talk about the movie, but I can talk about the doing sequels and things like that. But y'all go ahead and flow with it, and then I'll just throw some shit in every now and then, see what's happening.
All right. So being that you're the expert, Dugar, you started off, man. What was your take on Coming to America 2, man?
Well, first of all, I was very happy for my comedy sister Lunell, my comedy brother Rodney Perry. Very happy. And my dear friend Leslie Jones. Me personally, it felt great to see the black cast. I personally felt the script could have been better. I personally felt that we waited 33 years. 33, thank you, DG. 33 for a script that basically kind of repeated the first one. And I felt, we all have our opinions about it, but Coming to America 2 to me should have been something like Eddie's family, the three daughters, the wife, and them actually coming back to America. And then having a story within Queens in New York with the family and all. But the way they did it, it didn't live up to the hype.
Okay, all right, let me say this. Number one, just that little idea that you just kind of brainstorm and freestyle right there. Number one, that might be Coming to America 3. That I like that. That should have it could have been 2, but I like that. I did like 2 though. I like the story, man. I enjoyed the story. It was like Dannon said, 33 years later, man. So we got a chance to kind of see everybody's faces, and what I didn't like about a lot of things that I heard on social media blast in the movie was that the story wasn't realistic, and that's not what you said. So I was listening to you because I feel like the first Coming to America, how realistic was that? And when you think about it, you know what I mean? So if you were expecting realistic, you should, that wasn't a good opinion to base your movie off of, because the first one wasn't realistic either. So how can this one be considered realistic? But I do like the twist that you put on it. Honestly, I really like that. I didn't expect that little twist, but I did like the movie. I did like the acting in it. I had some fun moments.
I would like to say something. I think the problem is, and it seems like it happens with a lot of black films, we'll get a good cult film and we know there should be a sequel, but we'll wait 5 and 10 years. The white films don't do that, man. They'll throw out another, they'll try to capitalize on that as soon as they can. Hangover 1, 2, and 3. You know what I'm saying? Those didn't take 5, 10, 15 years in between. So I don't know if it's personal or us working together, but I don't understand why we have those in betweens. Like the Fridays to me could have been killer if they was done every 2 years. You know what I mean? Because then the storyline can always go off the other story because they're so close. Here, you got Eddie older, Arsenio older. Yes, you have a lot of comedians and stuff that you throw in it that we all know that I'm happy with. First of all, I'm happy people work. You know what I mean? But I don't like the fact that we keep, as a culture in filmmaking, having so much space in between.
Yeah, very interesting point. I've never really heard that perspective. So
Right, right. I mean, it's like what DG is saying. I mean, I agree totally. It's like riding the wave. We waited 33 years and it's introduced to another generation that probably won't tap in and ride the wave that our generation would have rode had it come out 2 or 3 years after the original. I mean, they could have possibly had 3 or 4 of those coming to Americas. But I'm not knocking the film. It's just that I felt it could have been better. I felt waiting 33 years, it could have been more powerful. And then when I paid attention to the lines and the dialogue, that Eddie's son, his bastard son, I swear it seemed like it was written for Kevin Hart. Just on some of the dialogue, that the young brother was having, and it just could have been a little better to me. The concert scenes with some of the singers, I wasn't feeling that.
it's interesting because everybody has an opinion, right? And that's the great thing about it. Everybody's having an opinion. This is just your opinion, but you guys are honestly experts, so I really value your opinion. Because this is what you guys have been doing, really reviewing and giving great criticism, constructive, and all kind of stuff for movies. Because I listen to your podcast, so I know what you guys have been doing. So you guys are very very good at what you do. I just definitely looked at this movie as entertainment. And you said something about a new generation. I feel like just like when we watched it the first time, we were kind of blown away by it. There might be some kids and you're a new generation that watch it with brand new, fresh eyes and seeing it from a totally different perspective. Anyway, from a story just like we saw it for the first time. I just feel like we have these because it was so good. We were like, well, we got to knock it out the park. But there was different variables, like you said. 33 years is a long time. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's a long time to try to come back. And I do like what you're saying about piggybacking right off of, because you can make that story fresher. But I think overall, man, like again, opinions. I really enjoyed it. It was a nice little fun family movie, and it got to see some great faces. But you're in conclusion with this, because this show's about. We just had to throw this in there because I have you guys in there. But I want to talk about some. Not that this isn't positive, but I want to talk about what's how you guys have been handling COVID, because I know you both are positive brothers, very inspirational. I want to talk about that. But in conclusion, man, I really value your opinion, Dugar, in the movie, and what you said as well, DJ. The movie was good overall. So congratulations to the movie. I hope it continues to succeed. Absolutely. You know what I mean? In whatever way. Yeah. And really quick, before we get into the positive stuff, really quick, I want to ask both of you guys this. Individually, name one movie that you want to recommend to the viewers that you say you guys need to check this movie out. It's something that you watched this year that's like you need to check this out. What movie that you guys feel like everybody should watch?
I think that people should watch this movie called The Execution if we all had a chance.
Tell us about that.
Hey, DG's documentary is dope.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk.
We'll talk about that later. We'll talk about it later.
For me, I would really say, since we're in this woke generation, that Judas and the Black Messiah was powerful.
Very, very powerful.
Very powerful movie, man. Because a lot of people didn't even understand. Fred Hampton was a very educated brother, smart cat, but when they went power to the people, he actually, because it was a scene where he actually brought some Confederate flag rednecks to one of his rallies. Remember that scene?
Yes,
they were all on the same page, because a lot of people misunderstand when they say power to the people, they think it's just black folks. but that's power to all of the people that are being affected by the system, you know, and we kind of lose our way with that.
Mhm.
That's a whole nother conversation. But I would say
Yeah,
that movie, and I would also say DG's documentary, The Execution, is dope.
yeah,
We'll watch
yeah.
that. We'll talk about that later.
All right, DG, what movie did you watch this year that you feel everybody should check out?
Hey, you know what was really crazy? Now I can't remember the name of it, but it was about this white girl who became this master chess player. Did you see
Oh
that?
yes, yes,
You saw
Queen's
that?
Gambit, Queen's Gambit,
Queen Gambit.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, oh that was
Netflix
amazing.
series. That was good. It's good.
Oh, it was a
That was
series.
It's a
that
series.
was
It's a
yeah
whole
Netflix.
series.
You know
Queen's
what?
Gambit was,
I binged on it so much I thought it was a damn movie.
I,
I
it was
watched it.
amazing. I watched it because one of your posts, Dugar,
Yeah,
because you posted about that, and I said, let me check this,
yeah.
and it was powerful. It was awesome, man.
It was
I was
it was
locked
dope,
in,
man. It was really good.
Yeah, I
locked
was
in.
locked in, and so I'm sorry you didn't say movie, but I binged on it and I watched it, and it just was one of those movies that, man, it was just realistic to me. I like those type of movies. That I can see that really happen. You know what I
It was
mean?
Yeah,
All
groundbreaking.
the,
It was groundbreaking.
yeah.
yeah,
With all the
It-
odds against her in that world, it was groundbreaking, man.
Yeah,
yeah,
and you know, and then the two things. To go back to Coming to America, also for women, that was, you know, me being a single father of three daughters, that was a powerful movie for women because I don't want to give the movie away, but ultimately at the end, it's about empowering
Yeah,
women. So that was a really good
absolutely,
message hidden within that as well.
absolutely.
So Queen's Gambit was awesome. That's a great recommendation.
yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah. All right, so let's talk about how things have been since COVID for you brothers. Like, you know, first of all, like I know you may have had normal daily routines during before COVID. Did anything change? And what is your morning daily routine that you do every morning? Anyone you can jump in.
Well, for me, when I got COVID, it was around MLK weekend,
Mm-hmm.
and I was down for like 20 days. And I lost all my strength, my muscle tone, because I was doing the workout that you had given me. I had lost my muscle tone, my endurance, my strength, the weight. Uh, and now what I'm doing, I'm back doing the push-ups and the squats and all that. I'm back doing that, just trying to regain my strength. And it's not all the way there. I give myself probably about another month to get it back right. But it's very serious, man. And for me, the COVID has affected me professionally with the comedy. You know, I had to go pick up, you know, odd jobs that gave me flexibility just in case when it opens back up and things like that. And it's changed drastically. And we do need the economy back open, man. But COVID is real, bro. You know, the conspiracy theories with the vaccines and all that kind of stuff. People are gonna have their opinions, just like we just had our opinion on the Coming to America too. Um, I I believe I will take the vaccine when it's my turn. I couldn't take it just yet, but I believe I will take it when it's my turn. My doctor said, you know, give it about April and I can get it. I think I will do it. But people are entitled to their own opinions about it, man. A lot of people think it's conspiracy. A lot of people want to bring up Tuskegee. A lot of people want to say they don't trust the government and this and that and that. But if they're given a vaccine shot, I mean, everybody's getting it. Black folks just aren't the only people getting it, you know, and white folks are cutting in line to get it. You know what I'm saying? What I'm afraid of is that we're going to have a shortage of it and we're going to need it and we ain't going to be able to get it because black folks didn't get in line to get it. Just you know, just a little take.
No. Well received, man. Well received, man. I was fortunate I'm fortunate to be a teacher, so I was able to get my first vaccine, and I was against it initially, and I had my own reasons. But you know, I just thinking, like you said, everybody's opinion. I'm never going to be one to judge and say you should do this because we live in a society where I understand why people have conflicted opinions with the media, with social media, with everything else, with leadership, so and trusting and history. So, but ultimately, I feel like I had to make a decision that was bigger than me. You know, and you know, for the community, for just to be able to get to a sense of some normalcy, you know what I mean? So I just had to take some leadership, and it comes down to faith and trust at the end of the day. So what's going to happen is going to happen. So ultimately it came down to faith and really a sense of doing what I needed to do for the community. So I can't wait for you to get your shot in April, man. And I'm glad. I remember when you got COVID, man. So I know it was a tough battle for you, man. So I'm glad to see you on you know, back getting your strength back and doing the thing, man. Really glad to see you back, brother, man.
That was really good, man. I appreciate that.
Man, seriously, man. But I watched you document it. It was so transparent. You know, you don't know that it's real until you see somebody that is affected by it. Then you see how real it really is. You know what I'm saying? So I was really praying from a distance, but I knew you would get through because you had that positive mindset, man. So it's awesome to see you be transparent in that journey, like even in your weakest day, to fight your way back, which is awesome, brother, man. So I'm glad you're here to talk about it, because there's some people not here. You know, I just had a friend that transitioned like his funeral was Friday, yawn, because of COVID. So I know that it's very real, man. But anyway, I don't want to negate that, but I'm making it sound like I want to stay positive. Not like that's not what we shouldn't talk about it, but there's a lot of amazing positive things going on in this world, man. And I believe that we're all spiritual, eternal beings having human experiences. And this is a part of our experience, when we have contrasts like this, it causes us to grow and expand, man. So I trust the whole process of life, man. And unfortunately, this is the time that we're living in. But I know that with positive people like us and that outlook, man, that we're able to keep moving forward, man, and trust the future, man. Dannon, man, how have you been waking up during COVID, man? What's been your normal daily routine?
Well, the funny thing is, Dugar and I were on the road. We went to Korea, Guam, and Alaska, and I got sick in Alaska. I don't know if it was cold, and it lasted for a minute. So then we went to Korea, and in a way, we had felt like Dugar said, well, shit, I might have had it then. You know what I mean? Mm. But for me, man, now I'm not sure if I'm gonna take the shot yet. I turned it down once. I gotta be honest, because I've never taken a flu shot, and I don't get it. You know what I mean? I'm just sick. I'm scared to get it because I don't know if it makes you sick. You know what I'm saying? And I'm terrible when I get sick, bro. I'm the worst. You know what I mean? So, but I have been going back in my mindset, because what I do, working with kids too on the side, I can get the shot. So we're looking at that. In terms of my life, bro, I gotta be honest. With the grace of God, I didn't skip a beat financially. You know what I mean? I didn't have to take a loan. My job, actually, I wanted working more hours. You know what I mean? It needed help. And then what I did, I just took advantage of it, bro. See, to me, I looked at it like, this is what I told somebody. I said, guess what Denzel Washington is doing? And he said, what? I said, he's doing the same damn thing you doing. Nothing. Nobody can do nothing. So I felt it was a time to take advantage of the time. Mm-hmm. I wrote a movie during the pandemic. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I started working out more. I don't know, I think some of you saw me. I was having like a little workout show on Facebook. And so what I did was I know it's real. I know people that passed from it, but I took advantage of the time. And because of that, I felt like you said, every time there's a negative, there's a positive. And I felt like if you didn't take advantage of the time, and I told Dugar this, because I got on him about it. I said, if you don't take advantage of this free time we got, then you wasted the opportunity. Right. You know what I'm saying? And I took advantage of it. I wrote a movie, and I'm actually writing a TV show series now. So comedy-wise, it's killed me. You know what I mean? Because I've never been a road comic. But like Dugar said, and you've said, I think what you have to do is you find a way to reinvent yourself. You know what I mean? So money is still cool, and because of other things that I got going on that we'll talk about later, I've stayed in the mix. And that's pretty much it. But it's amazing. I believe what you're saying. It is real. I talked to Dugar. We both did. He was doing bad. Rodney Perry had it. So I was very concerned. But at the end of the day, so far, God bless, I haven't had it.
So with that, Dannon did speak to me on that, and what I have been doing is I've been writing. So I'm working on the new hour. A lot of people don't understand how long. Well, DG can vouch for this, but people don't understand how long it takes to write a new hour of comedy material. It could take years, and for me, I'm talking about driving for Amazon. I'm talking about DoorDash. I'm talking about Uber. I'm talking about Lyft. All the little ins and out things that I've had to do to sustain, and the theatrics that came with that. So that's going to be in the show. Also, it's kind of like my last at bat. That's how I'm looking at it. So I got to go for the fences. And when I do drop it, DG's going to be a consultant on it. I got a couple other cast that's going to be consultants on it when I shoot the special. And every joke has to be a closer. And DG knows how hard that is to do. But if you don't shoot for it, then you playing yourself short. And what that means, is every joke can be used as my closing bit. That's how powerful I have to come. I'm talking about how I had to deal with COVID and the conspiracy theories and all the things that went. I'm bringing that into the forefront of the special, and they're gonna see a Daniel Dugar that they have never seen before. I'm not gonna even be suited and booted on this one, but I'm gonna be fit and right. So,
Man,
pop.
man, I have to just follow what my heart says right now, man. I'm full of like love and just proudness, man. Like, cause both you guys, man, your perspective, like I've met you both individually at different times in my life. I think I met Dugar before I even moved to LA and in Oakland, you know what I mean? And I was like,
we was both hoopers back then.
Yeah, 20 years old, 21 years old. And I met DG, and he's from Philly as well, but we met out here in LA in 96. And I've been knowing you guys, and not everybody in life that's doing what you guys are doing. And I have to be real right this moment is Kevin Hart, or is Eddie Murphy, or is not saying not as funny as, but gets those opportunities and has that lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? It has those opportunities that come where they can work and not worry about things. You guys, to me, represent like what you're doing right now. This, like Dannon working with kids, been doing so many other things while he's still doing it. You driving, doing everything that you're doing, all these side things, being a great husband, a great, just a great father, been everything that you guys are doing, and still pursuing what you're doing with greatness and positivity, man. And that's amazing to me, man. Like, cause I just posted something about it today. Life's not about what we get. It's about who we become, and who you guys are on a constant, on the verge of that stay on becoming better and better versions of yourself. It's beautiful to watch, man. You guys are amazing. So I don't look at Eddie Murphy, Kevin Hart, anybody differently than I look at anybody else that you're doing or not at that level. It's about who you're becoming and who you are, man. So I just had to just really jump off that, because I heard what you said, Dan, and then I heard what Dugar said. I'm like, man, these brothers are awesome, man. Awesome. And I'm glad that you're not sitting around, because that's what you're waiting. Like you said, Dan, and during these times, you don't wait, you create. This is the opportunity. Don't sit around waiting, create an opportunity. That's always my mindset. That's why I'm doing this show. I don't need a network, because what you guys are doing, I don't care if it reaches 1, 2, 100,000, 1,000,000 people. When you're putting out positivity like that, that's what it's about. It's about the journey. You don't sit still on the journey. You keep it moving. It's not about the outcome. It's about the journey. So you guys are just doing this, doing your show, just doing it. That's awesome, man. I'm so glad.
It's too, like I was telling people, it was too easy to fall into a rut. And let me tell you what happened with me. I was going to work. I was coming home. I was eating breakfast because I worked overnight. So I was going to work, getting off at 8, eating breakfast, sitting in this chair, turn on the TV and watch television. And then by 11:30, 12, I'm nodded out, and I'm waking up about 2 or 3 and getting ready to, for the next day. And I said, so what happened was, I just said, Dan, what the hell are you doing? Like, I just literally talked to him. I was like, what? It was like the first month of it. Got up, started doing the workout show. You know what I mean? And it went from me just being on live, Facebook Live, to getting 15 to 20 people, and people even cash out me for the workout. Went from there, and then I was at the job, and I said, whoa, I work at a job where I work overnight. Bro, you gotta take advantage of it. And there was a movie that I had been wanting to write for at least 7 to 8 years. Man, I wrote that bad boy. You know what I mean?
Love
So
it.
it's in life, man, like I always tell people, there's forks in the road. And every fork and every part of that road take you somewhere else. And it depends on where you want to go, whether you make the move or not. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
There's a lot of people that have sat around, I understand, been depressed during the pandemic, been, so I'm single, so people go, oh man, you want to have somebody. But I know people that have people and they mad as shit. You know what I mean? So I was,
Right.
because they got tired of being in there with them the whole time. But my point being is, for me to get through, because me and Dugar talked a whole lot through this whole pandemic shit.
A lot.
For me to get through and for me to come out with a saying, I had to create, I had to do something that's going to help me, propel me to be, and like you said, not so much what I get, but to be a better person as well. And I think that's what I looked at the pandemic like, because you would see so many people in there, oh, I'm this, I'm that, and I'm like, it's because people don't have anything else in their life. You know what I mean? And it's not a negative, but what I'm saying is, what happens if you can't get up and move, or you can't do something? You're gonna have to find something else to make it work.
Yeah.
We were stuck in the house, bro, and all we had was walls. What are we gonna do? You know what I mean? I bet there's people in prison like talk about, man, y'all could do no time, but y'all can't do no time. Y'all can't stay in the house for a damn month. I got 35 years.
Perspective, right?
Perspective.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. That's good stuff, man. One thing, this all brings up something I want to just tell everybody. I know you guys know this, but what we're talking about really essentially is changing your point of attraction. Like when something is going wrong in your life, you don't continue to fall. Don't put your energy into that. You got to change it. And that's how you change the momentum. You got to change your point of attraction. So by creating, that's what you're doing. You're like, I'm not going to focus here. I'm going to focus on there. So that's awesome, man. Next question. If you guys were in a situation when, I don't know how political you both are. I'm not, but I try to stay out of it, but just enough so I can vote and do my due diligence. But if you guys were a mayor or a governor or a president, what was something that you're passionate about? What policy would you change or would you bring to the country? Dannon, start with you. If you were the mayor, whatever you want to be.
Well, if you don't know, I don't know if you know, I'm a foster kid. I'm a foster kid, never knew my parents, nothing like that. And which is one reason why I've always said I'm gonna work with kids. I said, if I'm not gonna have them, I'm gonna give back. I would change the foster law in our country because, see, I'm not impressed by I'm not impressed by celebrities or people that adopt kids from other countries. It just doesn't impress me because I'm an American. And if my mom didn't adopt me, I would have been stuck in foster care. So I know I would make it more of some type of law or advantages by adopting foster kids in America. You know what I mean? And in terms of a policy, but really, man, and then politically, I will have it where, the big thing was the laws with the police laws. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is, you do a crime, you lose your pension. You know what I mean? I don't care what it is, because when you have an opportunity to lose everything, you think about how you do your job differently. You know what I'm saying? Dugar, what you don't know, me and Dugar are real political. We have, and I had my thoughts.
And we don't agree all the time, but what we do, we build a common denominator so that we can build off of. But the fact that we don't agree some of the time, it makes it more interesting because DG bring up some points, man, that I would say, wow, D, I really never even thought about it coming from that window. And now that you talked about it, I'm like, man, I'm kind of feeling what you feeling, and that's something that we don't do enough of. Like, I had this quote that I gave my boy DB, from who does the emotional intelligence, and it says, and here's the quote right here. I was looking for it on the phone. It says, "One must find the right frequency to evolve their emotional intelligence, because disinformation and misinformation is an emotional virus."
That's heavy. That's heavy. You know, it's
Absolutely.
funny. Yeah, you know, it's funny, Iv, it's like, I caught a lot of heat because I told people, though I didn't vote for him, I had no problem with Trump in some aspects. And
Mm-hmm.
people, I was catching heat, but I stuck to my guns because I told people this. The country and the world, but this country has been racist way before 4 years of him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This country has had the Klan and the Proud Boys way before he got in the White House. This country has been beating up and hanging black people by the police way before he got in the White House.
Mm-hmm.
And what Trump did was he, quote unquote, as they say, ignited it. But I just say he just polarized it because he didn't talk against it more. People got mad at me. Nigga, you a Trump supporter? Nope. I always ask this question, Ivan, and I'm gonna ask you, because I asked Dugar this question, and he told me, I heard his answer. Before he became the president, did you ever call him a racist?
No. No, I didn't know enough about him to call him anything.
The question to me, to you, from knowing from the 80s, with the rappers putting him into rap songs, to The Apprentice. Before he became the president, did you ever call him a racist?
No, I didn't.
So my point being is, before he ran for president, he was a Democrat.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not defending him, but what I'm saying is, what Trump did was give other racist people an out. Mm-hmm. Anytime the daughter of George Wallace can say, he's a terrible guy, but your daddy sat and stood in the front of the University of Alabama and said, no black person would ever come into the University of Alabama, it's hypocritical. And see, I don't work well that way because I'm not a black and white person. I'm a gray area. I'm going to read between the lines. So when it comes to politics, for me, I say, for instance, we're in the entertainment and you've done commercials. You look behind the scenes of black commercials and who's there? It ain't black people. The grips, the director, everybody's literally almost white. Mm-hmm. So my point being is, when are we going to look at the deeper issues that are going to get us over these humps? See, now, I told somebody this the other day. The only reason that you can turn on your TV right now and see black people in almost every commercial, you want to know why? Because George Floyd got killed last year. Because before he got killed, none of this was happening. So I ask you, are you going to let 4 years of a man that we know we can get rid of, and we did, try to say he's the reason our country's like this? Or are you going to say we better look at what happened the last 50 to 100 to 400 years? So that's my feelings on it. I take people as individuals. People like, oh man, I can't be racist. You want to know why? Because for 3 years of my life, white women raised me when I was in foster care. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? White people have done a lot for me. Black people have done a lot for me. I take everybody as an individual. If you do me wrong, Ivory, guess what I don't like? I don't like you. I don't dislike black people. I don't like you. So on the political aspects, and I could go on it. That's what me and Dugar, we agree a lot and disagree a lot. We've seen it. When we were in Korea, he'll tell you, when we went off base. Now think about that. I'm gonna tell you something first because so Dugar will set it up. In our country, we worry about every other race, even black people. We worried about the Latinos being in the cages and all that, right? We worry about how Asian people and stuff have been treated. We worry about all of that. Ask Dugar, when we was in Korea and we went off base and we saw a hair product, ask him what the title of the store was. What was it, Dugar?
What? The hand product?
The hair product. Remember when you and me and Manny saw that store, we said, what the fuck? It said chocolate hair.
Man, because
it said chocolate hair.
Yeah, chocolate
Remember?
Hair. Yeah. But you know that's a cultural thing. You know,
It don't make a difference. That culture comes to America.
I understand what you're saying, but in Korea, you're dealing with one ethnicity of people. In America, you're dealing with a gumbo pot of different ethnicities.
Guess what?
But that's their
in
culture.
Korea, you're dealing with one ethnicity, right? We're dealing with one people.
Right.
In Guam, you're dealing with one people, right? But when they come to America, what makes you think it's any different?
So the thing is, I understand what you're saying, but you know, going to Korea.
But that's why I don't dislike racists. I dislike people. That's what I'm saying. Right. That's why I don't go for the race.
That's an articulation of a different culture on how they see things. Back to what you were saying about the commercials with black people. So you think George Floyd is the influencer of more black people being in commercials?
Let me ask you this. Before he got killed, people weren't even talking about the police in the aspect of black people being respected, how police brutality was, things like that. Even though we talked about it, it was always cases getting found not guilty. It was because George Floyd got killed in front of the world finally was like, what y'all doing over there?
But
what's going on?
I hear what you're saying, but I believe the world and this country have always known that.
But knowing and acting on something, Dugar, is two different things.
But I hear
yes or no. Yes or no.
Saying, but I don't know. That's stretching into saying that black people.
Ivory, let me ask you, Ivory, is knowing or acting on something, is it two different things?
Oh yeah. You know, so knowing is knowledge and acting on what you know is wisdom. So it's a different thing.
That's what I'm saying.
Right, but you know,
how does that equate to George Floyd and people in commercials?
Well, what I'm saying is, what's in right now? Black people. Mm-hmm. Was we in a year ago from today? Honestly, a year ago from today, were we hot?
I think it's a progression, and I'm not going to say that we were never in. I believe black people have always been in. We've just been denied.
No, being denied. See, that's why I don't like you, because you try to come up with this. You always try to be slick with your shit. I'm gonna do the Stephen A. Smith shit.
I'm being me.
You're being slick.
I'm being me. I'm not trying to be slick.
Let me say something to you. I believe. Let me put it this way. I'll put it this way. I'll take George Floyd out of it and everything. I'm gonna tell you something Eddie Griffin told me years ago, and then I heard this the other day. In 95, 96, I was talking to Eddie Griffin. And this is when they started having all the black shows on TV. And Ivory, I know you remember, because this is when your store was hot down there, and we had a lot of I was hanging with you almost every day down there at the store. Am I right, Ivory?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Eddie Griffin came to me and said, black people better take advantage of this, but this ain't gonna happen. This ain't gonna be like this forever. And we had them shows. But by 99, 2000, they started weeding out. So when we built the WB up, we started getting off of the WB. When we started building up Fox and Living Color, all of that, all of a sudden those shows started going off. We had our moments and bam, right now, we hot. Don't think it's gonna happen forever. And there's issues behind it. There's reasons behind it. So I got to say. And I'm not hating or being racist or prejudiced. I'm just being truthful about what's happening now in our country.
All right, so this is what I want to say right now, and because, like, number one, I'm so present right now in this conversation because this is totally off the structure that I've been normally doing with the show.
Sorry, brother. I'm sorry.
But check it out. No, but it's that everything happens for a reason. You know, and I never want to interrupt you because you're passionate about what you're speaking about, and this is not a network. This is us creating together, and this is creating dialogue. And so I'm not going to shut that down because of some structure that I put here. You know what I'm saying? So that doesn't matter. So I'm being very present. But I hear you talking. So, but one thing with this evokes in me is why I don't get into politics too much. Because I'm more solution based. Now you seem like I hear you talking about a lot of the problems. Now it's okay to really focus on, you know, talk about the problem, but the focus is on the solution. So that's the reason why I actually have this show, so we can come here and talk about solutions. Like, you know, because there's shows that are going back and forth like this is that, this is that. But what is the solution? The solution starts in the mindset, you know, and individually. How you think, awareness, like you're talking about, Dannon, like you're talking about being aware of the cause, you know, what causes this. I get all that, but let's talk about some solutions. All right, so right now you hit a lot of valid points, and I don't disagree or necessarily agree with everything, but I hear you 100%. What would be some of your solutions?
My solutions would be this: one, to look within ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, even though we have been systematically oppressed, excuse me, as Black people, we have to start looking within ourselves to make the changes.
Mm-hmm.
We're down at the All-Star weekend. 7 people got shot yesterday. A rapper got killed yesterday.
Wow.
So when do we start taking accountability? Those are the solutions. The only way you make change in the world, Ivory, and I think Dugar knows this too, is to be able to look in the mirror and say, I'm wrong or I'm right. Mm-hmm. There's no other way. Now, we know it's the political side of it that controls it. So the solution is, as a mom, you know, no matter what the situation is with the baby, what the father is, if you can communicate with another man, like I put up on my social media page, how many men are reaching out? I don't know if you saw this, and I said, how many Qs, because I'm a bruh, and how many men have gone out and helped a child? I see us posting about our cars and what we're doing in success, you know, in life, but how many people are feeding homeless people? How many people have you called a single mom that you know and go, hey, I see your boy sometime, you want me to hang with him sometime? Or a parent that have a kid that has both parents that can say, hey, I know y'all be busy, you want me to take your son out or your daughter for some ice cream? We got to step out the box. Hugo, I would tell you, the last 3 months, I have fed over 200 people out of my own pocket. Once a month, 80 to 100 people, I go to Subway and buy sandwiches, and I give them out to the homeless. So the solution is, yes, and again, I apologize on a political rant, but what I'm saying is we got to step out of our own comfort zones and do something. Who's doing that? So it happens at the ground root. You can't grow a tree from the branch up, from branch down. It has to start from the ground. So until we can, I feel, it's like Dugar writing this, like he's writing a special. He can't go on stage and throw the punchline out there and not have no build up to the heat. So they're gonna be like, what the hell is he talking about? The solution is us. The solution is saying to a guy, you know, okay, you said something that was hurtful. Do I cancel you or do I give you an opportunity to do it right? Because to me, when you cancel people, that's not the solution. The solution when you cancel people is you're going to sweep it under the rug and we're going to wait for the next person to screw up. So when do we take accountability as a race of people and a country and go, you know what? I got to see what's wrong with me. Let me make some changes. Hey, my man, did you have a good day today? Hey, hello, how are you? You look nice today. When do we be nice? When do we start acting nice towards each other? Those are the solutions in my eyes.
You know.
Well said. Dugar.
I
Well
think,
said. Thank you, Danny.
I mean, just piggybacking off of what DG said, as black people, because we are trendsetters, we have been copied, duplicated, the whole nine. It's kind of like when you look at the economy in a sense of entertainment, so many things are modeled after us and stolen. So just to segue into piggybacking off of DG, it starts with us. And we have to look in the mirror and say to ourselves, what are the very things that have demonized us as a race of people? And not jump on that bandwagon and continue that process with ourselves, regardless of how trendy, how slick, how cool, how dope it is to change the narrative of something that has systemically deprived us as a people. Like, and DG, no, me and DG talked a few days ago about the word nigga. And
Yep.
people tend to think that there's a difference. I don't. This is just my opinion on nigger and nigga.
Mhm.
To me, either way, it's a word that has been used to demonize us, to belittle us, and to agitate the gravel that we walk on. So, if we as black people begin the process to change those narratives and those footsteps of positivity in supporting each other, even as what DG said, if someone wrongs you, do you give them opportunity to self-correct? Because we're in such a cancel out generation, will easily throw you away. People don't want to fight for what's right. People don't want
Right.
to fight for what we stand on morally as a culture people. Why do we call our black women bitches? Why do we call our black men niggas? So when you got every culture looking at us, they say, "Oh shit, that's the trend." So we could say that. But would you allow someone to call any of your daughters bitches, Ivory? Of course you would not. You know, and you wouldn't allow anyone to call you nigga in front of your daughters, whether it's with a GA or an ER. So how do we change that to better ourselves and draw away from the negativities to be bigger and better and reach our full potential? Because so many times we don't. I'm not even on social media right now. I deactivated my Facebook page. It's been a week because I don't want to see it. Because when I look at it, I get angry. I get upset. And it's just entertainment, but I get upset consciously when I read posts, even from my dear friends. And I'm just like, man, what are you saying? Or young lady, what are you saying? It's just kind of like we don't give ourselves enough credit of being great. You know, I'm looking at this conversation with the three of us. I respect and love both of you cats. And it's positivity. It's trying to find solutions over insecureness to hate on somebody that's doing something that you're not doing. So are you really hating them? Or are you really hating what you haven't done in yourself to better yourself? That's a word that is just overused. Hating, man, it's such an overused word. What are you hating? You know, DG just said earlier, hey man, during this time, I had to write. I had to write. You can't be mad at him. He used the time valuably. And many of us don't do that. We want to take, and not put the work in, put the work in, put the work in. And then we want to verbalize what we're doing. I like to move in silence because then that way it takes the attention off of me and you're not looking at me, you're not focusing on me while I'm getting the work done. So, as a solution, we got to better ourselves first so that others will see the unity. We changed some votes in Atlanta. We changed some votes in states that gave us Biden, whether you like him or not. It showed you the power that black people have. And I don't believe we really utilize it because we all have our own conceptions of this and that. But it starts with ourselves. It starts with us locally. It starts with us in our neighborhoods. It starts with us taking our neighborhood, bringing our hoods back to being neighborhoods.
Thank you, man. Thank you both. Thank you both for sharing, man. I appreciate, just, both you guys' perspective and your transparency with everything. Before we wrap up this conversation, you guys both mentioned earlier different things you were working on, especially you, Dan, and I know you got some writing done as well, Dugar. Dan, what have you been working on during this time, man?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me on your show.
Thank you for coming, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you and your fan base. Man, 3 years ago, I came up with an idea to do a documentary about my old boxing team out of Philadelphia. And I found a partner to go in it with me financially. And I started writing it in November of 2017. I started writing out the documentary. I completed it like maybe the first or second week in January. And then we started shooting it the last week of January, which was Super Bowl weekend of 2018. I actually was in Philadelphia that week.
Oh, wow.
And we went back and forth 4 times to Philadelphia, 1 time to North Carolina, and 1 time to New York to shoot footage and do interviews. I did interviews out here. And I wound up doing a documentary, the first of its kind, called The Executioners, We All Had a Chance. And it's the first boxing documentary ever done about a boxing team. The first time it's not about an individual fight or an individual fighter. It's not about a trainer. It's about 2 men who started a gym to get the boys off the street of Philadelphia, West Philadelphia, and wound up creating one of the best boxing teams ever. So I did it.
Congratulations on that. That's awesome,
yeah,
man. That's awesome. Sounds like a great story too. That's awesome.
It's a feature film. Duke, I was telling you, I was when we went to I was actually working on it. Duke, I was watching me work through it twice, because when we went overseas the first time to Jordan, Bahrain, and all that, I was shooting it that year.
Yeah.
That was 2018. I was shooting it that year. And then 2019, when we went to Korea and all that, I was editing it. And then I had him review it for me. And man, it's just a labor of love. But man, it's a feature film, 1 hour, 35 minutes. Shane Mosley, Mark Breland, Buddy McGirt, Sam Watson, Carlos Palomino, just to name a few that are in it. But it's a story, bro, that is so different, Ivory, that I just think that people are going to really love it. We got accepted into 11 film festivals.
Wow, that's amazing, man.
Yeah, we won awards in 2. I got the laurels I got all the laurels on the poster, and we just signed a deal. We got accepted by Amazon Prime, Zumo, and Tubi TV. So in 2 weeks, right now we have a projected date of March the 19th for it to be released on Tubi television. So Dugar is, looked at it for me, and I told him, I said, man, when you look at it, and I don't have to tell Dugar that, but be truthful. You know what I mean? Like,
you never have to tell him that at all.
I saw
Go ahead, dude.
I saw the raw footage right before he put the bells and whistles and tightened it up, and and I think that's one of the reasons why Dannon and I are such good friends, is because we're honest to the fault. He don't care if he hurt my feelings. I don't care if I hurt his feelings. But it's not really trying to hurt our feelings, or I would say not stroke our egos. So when I looked at the raw footage of the documentary, I looked at it as he didn't do it. He didn't write it because he didn't want me to stroke his ego. He said, man, just tell me what you think of it. And I was like, wow, this is deep, because you were dealing with the actual cats that we remember that
Right.
do the get down, but it wasn't. It was about this gym. Who writes a story in a film about a gym that propelled all these Golden Gloves and later to be great champs,
Mm-hmm.
and talk to them now to see what it was like and how their lives could have went this way or
Yeah.
that way if it wasn't for these two cats that brought these cats off the hood, out of the hood in the streets of Philly to box. And I was like, I think I guess DG, bravo. This
Yeah.
this this was excellent, brother. And that goes back to solutions.
Mm-hmm.
How do we propel each other? How do we support each other? Danny
Right.
didn't ask me for no money and nothing like that or any of those
Uh,
kind of things. It was like, dude, give me your honest opinion because that holds more weight. That's more value because it allows me to look at something that I didn't see, to
right.
self correct it, build a solution with that and fix it or whatever, whatever. And, he was humble enough to deal with the feedback from many people
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
that watched it. And I had told him, I say, hey, dude, man, if you could get Max Kellerman behind something like this, it
Mm-hmm.
would blow through the roof because this is something that's in their wheelhouse that they've never seen before. It's always based on an
And
individual, but not a whole
yeah, and
boxing team.
yeah, and what's crazy about it, Iris, it's not a feel good story.
Mm.
It's not everybody turned up, roses. It's really it's some heavy it's a heavy message, and I just feel like it had to be told. We got so many stories of people that we know about. Tiger Woods, LeBron James, Tyson. We know their stories. It's interesting because most of us we've lived through their stories. But when you hear a story about people that had a chance to be the great one, like we all know, like you guys know better, especially when it comes to basketball. You know what I mean? Um, I think it's an amazing story. I think if, Ivor, you got daughters, women are going to enjoy it. It's not based on men. It's about men, but it's not written where it's coming from just a chauvinist attitude or energy. So, man, that was my whole thing. I'm ecstatic. I don't know the magnitude of what I've done yet, but every time I look at those posters and I see the laurels of the film festivals, you know, and then when I get information from Tubi and Amazon Prime, I'm like, wow. So I'm ready for it to come out, man, and I'm excited, and I just can't wait for it.
Well, I'm excited. I'm excited for you, man. Truly, man. Like for you to just like take advantage of this time, like what you talked about earlier, and to see it kind of manifesting is wonderful, man. You just put in that work, man, and believe, and that's the key. You just gotta believe it,
Yeah,
and then you'll
yeah.
see it. You know what I'm saying?
So
So congratulations on the process, man. Like already. You know what I'm saying? Like so great job, and Dugar, man. And I know you, like you said, you're kind of like moving under the radar right now, but you're moving, which is beautiful, man. Good luck with that hour comedy that you're writing right now. I know it's going to be powerful because you're coming from a real place and it's going to be able to connect with everybody, man. So good luck with that, man. I appreciate both you guys, man. Both
Thank
you
you, man.
brothers, man. Thanks for coming on the show, man. Both you guys. What do you guys? Are you guys gonna watch the All-Star game before any of that?
I have it in the background, the slam dunk competitions I was watching that they just robbed Aaron Gordon from those slam dunk competition battles.
Again, they
No,
rob
no, no,
him
no,
every
no, 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 no.
year.
I was
No,
watching. I was
he's talking
watching
about.
the past ones.
Oh,
Um,
oh, 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 oh.
you know what, man? I'm gonna watch it, but honestly, Ivory, I had forgot it was All Star Weekend.
Hmm.
You know,
Same.
and it's like I had talked to my cousin yesterday, and he's an NBA official, and I'm like, "You home?" I'm like, "Oh, it is All Star Weekend." I think what I'm gonna do after I'm done with you guys is I'm gonna go to the range and I'm gonna work
Mm-hmm.
on some of my irons because
Nice.
I haven't played golf since I caught COVID because I wanted to get my strength back. But I'm just gonna go for about an hour and just work on my clubs, for about 10 to 15 minutes each, each certain irons that I need to work on and get back in the swing of that. So that's what I'm going to do today.
What about
Funny,
you, DG?
hey, it's funny Dugar says that because I told you earlier I went out and played 9 holes this morning.
Yeah, that's right.
And the funny thing is, I was teeing off and working my irons.
Mm.
I was just, and that's what I do. I'll hit my irons the most time, the bulk of the time, just working on it in my putting. So I got my golf in today. I'm actually not going to watch it. Probably I'm going to actually turn on the golf, watch the golf tournament, and I'm going to write because I'm working on the TV show. I'm working on a TV show that I'm writing. So I finished one outline already. My goal this week, within this whole week, is to finish at least 2 of the outlines, and by the end of the month, have the first 2 episodes, the 3 episodes written.
Yeah, that's awesome. Let me just tell for the people watching, I want to point this out. What Dannon is experiencing right now is called momentum. And he is in a zone right now. And you can and it's really easy to get yourself in momentum, negative or positive. It's where you put your thoughts in, where you put your energy, where you put your action. And so you're focused on that. That's why you're ignoring the all-star game. You're like, man, you got to ride this wave. So when you get that momentum, right, everybody, just make sure you ride it. And if you're stuck, you know what I mean? Just focus on something good. Focus on something positive. And again, I appreciate you, brothers, man. This was such an amazing conversation. Again, it was totally unstructured, but I love it because you guys open up your hearts, man. People are gonna learn, they're gonna laugh because y'all but it's crazy, but also informative, man. And I just think this is what we need, man. Dialogue, man, for solutions. What you gonna say, DG? I mean,
go ahead, Dugar. Go ahead, Dude.
Oh, and thank you, Ivy, for having us, man, and thank your fan base. And just to let you guys know, DG and I will be rebooting at the moment.
Yes.
And
yes,
we're going to do it in this format. We're not going to do it on the network that we were on. We're just going to go independent with it, man. We're going to go Master P with it, that style with it. But
when you guys going to start that? When do you think you're going to start?
DG and I, we've been talking about it. So it's just a matter of us getting it in between what we're both working on. But it is coming, and it'll be here before summer. So we'll probably end up launching something in the next month or so, but it is definitely coming back because we have definitely been talking
and I want to piggyback on that real quick. I got to give Dugar mad props, and I'm not giving him props because I told him this before, but I wanted to give him publicly. I give him mad props because Dugar drove down from Oakland to LA I think it was Tuesday when we had our show. Tuesday, we get here around 12 o'clock. We would go to a movie. You would think we was dating. We would go to a movie, watch 1 or 2 movies, no lie, bro, and then go to the studio and do a 2-hour show. And then Dugar would get back in his car. We maybe go get some food somewhere. He'd drop me off at the crib or whatever and shoot right back. So I got to give him mad props because, like you said, when it's momentum and dedication and understanding the purpose, bro, is what makes people successful.
Yeah.
And some people find it late, some people find it early, but if you find a consistency in it, you're going to find it. And I think so. I got to give him Dugar mad props because he was doing that, man. People don't understand. He putting wear and tear on the car, man, coming down here.
Hey, I vouch for that story, Danny, because during that time I was doing a podcast, doing a live, and he came in earlier. He had to come in earlier so he can come do my podcast. Right. Yeah, so he was definitely dedicated, but that's what it takes, man. And that's what like I said earlier, man, that's what it takes, man. You guys, the way you guys are, the dedication, the passion, your heart, the growth of mindset, and the talent, man. And just, that's what it's about, man. And just the love that you guys put out, man. So I appreciate your time. And I hope you guys have a beautiful Sunday. Peace to your family. And love you, brothers, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, love you, man. Congratulations to Ivory and all your success, bro. Really.
Thank you, man. It's the journey like you guys are. I'm just, like I said, man, that's why it means so much to me to have these conversations with you guys, because like I said, all of us on our individual journeys doing this. You guys have been doing some things together, but at the end of the day, we're individuals just like being positive and doing it, man. You know what I mean? Doing it. And you know, and my man Dugar overcoming the COVID like that, man. It was something I'm so proud. I'm so proud of you, man, because like some people that make it, man. So I'm grateful, man. Everything starts with gratitude. And I'm grateful every day to wake up and to make a difference, man. You know what I mean? You guys have made a difference in this conversation today, man. So peace to you both, man. Appreciate you. All right.